LPES, and happy Friday. Made it through another week here at LPES, and we have only 1 week left before we have winter break, or holiday break, I guess I should say, which is really wonderful and exciting. I know we have so many fun things coming up in the next few days, like your concerts. Today is also the last day that we're collecting donations for our donation drive. I'm excited to announce some of those house points later on next week, possibly. Maybe I'll do it next Friday feeling. We also have your class parties this coming week. We have Grinch Day. We have all kinds of fun stuff, I think, that are planned both in your classroom and around the school, which is really fun and wonderful. Last week, we started with one of our mindful morning challenges. And the challenge that we had last week was taking our time on an activity that we would normally rush through. So hopefully, I think that was probably a good one for a Friday, especially on Fridays when we have a lot of tests and a lot of different things going on. Could be a nice one to kind of slow ourselves down a little bit, take our time, or it could even be something else, like if we rush through eating our snack, maybe taking a few extra minutes to just kind of enjoy it, savor it. Maybe we don't have time to do that with our snack, but maybe with things like dinner or breakfast or whatever it might be. Savoring those moments, slowing ourselves down every now and then to enjoy life a bit more and not feel quite so rushed. So we're going to do another one of our cards today. I'm going to randomly pick, and I really don't pick these beforehand, so I hope that it's one that's good. If not, we'll pick another. Ooh, oh, this is kind of similar to what we were just saying. So this says, appreciate the taste, texture, and smell of your breakfast. And this says breakfast specifically, but it can be for any meal of the day. We talk a lot about mindfulness at LPES, especially on Friday Feelings, and there's actually something called mindful eating. So when we are eating mindfully, what we're doing is we're slowing ourselves down. We're paying attention to our body. We're paying attention to the fact if we're still hungry. We're paying attention to how our food tastes, how it smells, the texture of it, all the things it really says on this card. And what that does is it helps our body to slow down a little bit, helps us to pay more attention to the food that we're eating. So we're not just eating as quickly as we can, which we all do sometimes. We're kind of taking some more time, and it's going to help slow down our heart. It's going to help slow down our body and our mind, and to help us just be more appreciative too of that food that we're getting to have, that we're getting to consume. So I like this one. This is a good challenge, especially around the holidays. Sometimes we have lots of parties, lots of things that are going on. So this is a nice one to kind of help us just enjoy all of that, take it in, making those healthy choices for ourselves sometimes. It's a nice card. Okay, so we have appreciate the taste, texture, and smell of any of your meals. Nice little challenge for this coming week. All right, my friends. So last week we did talk a lot about mindfulness. I know we've been using the ping pong balls to kind of discuss different ways that we can settle our mind, ways that we can kind of calm ourselves down. And today we're going to be talking a little bit more about that. So today we're going to be talking about those ways that we can kind of try and live in the moment and try and focus on what's happening around us. I know for me, sometimes, and I mentioned this last week, sometimes my brain likes to start thinking about my future self, like almost like there's a future Mrs. Heffler that I'm always worried about. Are you talking about me? Whoa, when did you get here? I mean, technically, I'm always here, bouncing around in your head and making you think about things in the future that could happen. You do seem to bother me quite a bit. Kind of my thing. That's the worst part, that I have very little control over you. That is true. Worried about things that might happen to you, or situations you might get yourself into that might not be the best choice, or just things that could go wrong that involve you, or maybe even don't involve you. Do you want to know the craziest thing? Most of the time, those things never even happen. That's true. Like that time you worried that the entire Panther Pride meeting was going to go wrong, like everything was going to go wrong, and it went totally fine. You're right. I do spend a lot of time worrying about things that never actually happen, that never actually take place. Even funnier is that when things do go wrong, they are almost always things you never even planned for. You never even thought about. You're right. Do you know that worrying about the future is kind of like a broken coping skill? It's something that we do because it makes us feel like we're in control of the future because we've worried so much about it. It's almost like our brains tell us, okay, if I worry about this thing enough, then maybe I can prevent it from happening. But the truth is, I can't. I can't prevent any of the things that are going to happen to you. And most of the time, all you do is end up spending a lot of energy thinking about things that never even happen, or things that happen but they don't really matter. Or even worse, you worry about the things that have already happened. Whoa, when did you get here? I've already been here. That doesn't even make sense. True. What I mean is I already happened. I'm past you. Past Mrs. Heffler. Oh, I know you. Explain to me why you suddenly decided to make an appearance on this very special Friday feeling. Easy. I'm here to remind you of all the things that have already happened that you spend a lot of time and energy thinking about, even when you have no control over them. Oh, like that time that you fell in the hallway right in front of the gym in front of everybody? Wasn't that like 5 years ago? Was, but that doesn't stop you from thinking about it and still feeling embarrassed about it. And I thought I was useless. I'm completely useless. Mrs. Heffler, you spend so much time thinking about things that have already happened that are completely out of your control. It's true. I do spend a lot of time worrying about that. It doesn't even matter. What's done is done. You can't change me, baby. I'm in the past. If I can't change you and I can't plan for you, why do I spend so much time worrying about both of you? Great question. We don't really know. If I was somehow able to stay in the present moment and to not think about the things that have already happened to you and to not worry about the things that I don't know if they'll ever happen to you, I feel like I'd be able to stay a lot more calm. I feel a lot better every day. You make a good point, Heffler. Well, present Mrs. Heffler. Do you know what that's called? Mindfulness. Being able to not obsess over things that have already happened in the past or worry about things that might happen in the future. When you don't do that, you're able to live in the moment, to be present. And that's mindfulness. That's what I'm always talking to our students about. Being mindful and practicing mindfulness. Maybe that's the reason we popped up today, to help the students of LPES not worry so much about things in the future that could happen by not wasting time thinking about things that have already happened in the past. What a wonderful lesson. You know, I think I'm already starting to feel a little bit better, a little bit more calm, and I really think... Where'd you guys go? Oh, I guess it's just you and me again. I hope that this visit from my future self and from my past self, or I guess that was reverse, from my future self and my past self, helped us to all think a little bit more about what we do with our brains every single day. The thoughts that we fill our brains with and the thoughts that we let ourselves kind of spin on or obsess over or think about again and again and again. The more we let our brains do that, the harder it is for us to stay present and in this moment here, right now. And when we get better at that, when we start to forget about those past mistakes we've already made or the worries that we have for the future that might never ever happen, that's when we're practicing mindfulness. And that is when we're going to feel a lot more present in our life. We're going to listen to those around us better. We're going to enjoy our day better. We're going to be able to focus in class better because we're not filling our head with these two other timelines or these two other people that don't really matter. Of course, we want to make good choices that help us in the future. And of course, sometimes there's things we've done in our past that we can learn from. but they shouldn't be the main things that fill our brain every single day or every second of every single day. So I hope that my two special visitors today helped us to get a little bit more on track for the rest of our day and hopefully into the weekend and into the many weeks to come. I hope, my friends, you can all use today's lesson to stay a little bit more present, a little bit more mindful. I know it's something that I'm going to certainly try and do after today. Why don't we wrap up with some deep breathing exercises, and then we'll kind of close out our Friday feeling for today. Go ahead, just check on how you've been sitting. I know you've been sitting watching this for some time now, so you might be hunched over, leaning, or whatever. Sitting up nice and tall. And let's go ahead and do some square breathing together. We're going to do it 3 times, so we'll trace 3 squares. For today, what I want you to do is when we trace, you're going to breathe in. On the side, you're going to hold your breath. On the bottom, you're going to breathe out. On the other side, you're going to hold. Let's do that 3 times together. Here we go, LPES. Ready? Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Breathe in. I somehow made a mistake. Inhale. Hold. Breathe out. And hold. All right, you can go back to breathing normal. Oh my goodness. I was thinking so much about all of you and hoping that you were doing it the right way that I wasn't focused and being mindful myself. A great lesson to show you how important it is. All right, LPES, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, especially during the holiday season, stay kind, LPES. I'll see you all next week.